Every episode's a journey. Let the truth unfold. Real talk from the heart. Never scripted, never cold. We speed light, speed love, elevate the game. Every word hits different when it comes from the flame. Turn it up, tune in, let the story unlock. It's your boy Mike here. Welcome to the pod, non-stop with. Yeah. Yes, sir. One life, one mic, one moment to speak. Real conversations, listen deep. Different stories, different views. Understanding changes the truth. This ain't about being right, it's about being real.
Welcome to One Life. This is how we heal. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the One Life Podcast. I am Mike MIC Reed, and I have my boy Trent right next to me, and the one and only Lisa Sarno is in the building. She's back in the building with us, y'all. Wow. Welcome back. Where this is the podcast where purpose meets the journey and the journey builds the legacy. Today's episode is special because it isn't just about fashion. This is about opportunity, mentorship, and what happens when creativity meets the right environment to grow. I'm sitting down here with my very own Trent, a mentor, a leader, and now a designer whose vision made it all the way to LA Fashion Week.
Yeah.
Through an incredible collaboration between Action for Kids and Black Collective Designs, this wasn't just a movement. This wasn't just a moment. It was a movement. Mm-hmm. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge the people who helped make this possible. Lisa Sarno, Linda Jones from Action for Kids, and the Black Collective Designs for opening doors and creating a real platform for our youth and our team to shine. Let's get into it, y'all. Well, first of all, I want to say this. Thank you, Lisa, for joining us today. I know you have a very busy schedule, and you got a lot of things going on, but I appreciate your presence right now.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here with you, Mike. And of course, it's a pleasure being here with one of our wonderful young designers right now that made it to LA Fashion Week. Yeah.
It's amazing, right?
Yes, it is.
So, you know what? Let's just jump into it. I was going to mess around with you guys, but I want to ask Trent, walk us through the moment you found out your design would be featured in LA Fashion Week.
I would say it was surreal, because I ain't think about everything making it that far. It was kind of like, all right, I remember when you called me and you told me that she was gonna call me and let me know about a situation, which is the Upcycled 2. So when she called me and she was like, yeah, would you like to be a part of that opportunity? I was like, yeah, of course, just wanted to see how it would feel, how everything would, pan out. So yeah, like actually seeing like the work that I put in, like walk down that aisle was kind of like, wow, like that was crazy.
It was a wild moment.
It was a wild moment because I literally, like I said, I was new to sewing. So I'm in there like for hours up until 1 in the morning trying to get that stuff together. Like,
right.
So to see that finally like come to and just see everything put together and how well everything correlated, and it was just amazing.
Now through your whole life, which I know you're still young, but we joke a lot. Just like how you and I joke a lot. So
okay.
He be throwing jabs at me.
We're all young.
No.
We're all still young.
I want to be clear about something because both of you guys, throughout the day when we hang out, you guys be throwing your jabs at me. And
But you started.
Thank you.
You started.
Thank you.
You started.
Hey, my job is to make sure you guys keep smiles on your face like this. This is what I'm doing. Anyway, so like I said, throughout your whole life, is this one moment that you feel like, is it that aha moment for you?
Yeah, for sure. Because honestly, like fashion was never the thought, like stepping into that. Like I said, I was always basketball.
Right.
So being able to step into that and like how naturally everything kind of came, like when I was doing it, it was kind of like, oh, wow, like I think I found something, So, yeah.
So Lisa, why don't you give us some insight on how all this came together with Action for Kids and Black Collective Designs?
Absolutely. So Black Collective Designs, it's actually BDC. We'll abbreviate it right now for purposes of this conversation. The BDC basically is a membership of the elites designers, American designers. And the Upcycle, this is Upcycle too, so it's the second year they've done it. But what TJ Walker and Kevin Hall, by the way, both of them are amazing designers with their own brands. And, Kevin Hall has dressed people like Viola Davis, Michelle Obama. I mean, you're talking about that caliber of designers. And TJ Walker has his own brand, which is Cross Colors. Yeah. So, I mean, I think part of it is when you have the opportunity to work with these individuals and have the opportunity for, several of our Antelope Valley young designers, go and work with them in workshops and learn how to deconstruct and reconstruct, right, materials, and then be a part of actual LA Fashion Week runway show, fashion show. It's pretty amazing. But we were very lucky because one of Action for Kids advisory board is Linda Jones.
Right. And
Linda actually is the BDC's, if you will, publicist.
Right.
And so I've known Linda for decades. And when we were talking about it, she actually went and spoke to TJ and Kevin and said, we have some young folks in the Antelope Valley that, we'd like to give some opportunity to. So I had a chance to have conversations with them, and they said, we absolutely would love to have some, of your young designers come out and work with us. So here's I think what is really amazing. The 4 that went down there, Trent, of course, here, and then we have Joseph Serrato, and also Nestor Hernandez and Queen, right? Let me just tell you, they were amazing. They kept going down there on their own. We didn't really have to do, Action for Kids really didn't have to do very much. We just had to give them the opportunity. And part of what Action for Kids Child Abuse Prevention Council, we do the prevention, we give the information on how to prevent abuse. But we also decided this year, and you're on our board too, Mike, and so we thank you. This year we decided that, in addition to providing information, we wanted to give opportunities, positive opportunities that may change the trajectory of some of people's lives. Some of our young people's lives. And this is one of the opportunities. There's many more on the horizon, but this was the first one that we delved into. And we were so lucky to be able to do this with BDC.
No, and it's crazy because Trent and I earlier when we was at work, we was actually talking about just that very same thing on how, what Action for Kid actually does, but we actually have to, change with time, so to speak, right? We have to go into these kids' world and start presenting things to them. So I'm actually glad that we was able to partner with BDC.
Yeah, and this is our second collaboration because if you recall, we had Nestor Hernandez go down there earlier last year, and he participated in a tennis shoe workshop with Dr. Dwayne, right? The famous Dr. Dwayne, right? Who from your childhood. So let's just bring it right back to Mike.
Not about me.
You grew up, well, this is about you. You grew up with Dr. Dwayne. So, Nestor had the opportunity to do a workshop with him about how to create tennis shoes, how to design tennis shoes. So this is our second collaboration with BDC. And basically, no kidding, but it was upscaled, right? We had an upscaled situation. And so watching for us, behind the scenes and supporting you and the others, it was really an amazing opportunity for us to watch how it all unfolded, right?
So let me ask you a question. So that night that we went, because this is the night that I brought Trent to the, I forgot what it was called, but it was after the workshop they did.
The tennis shoe workshop.
After the tennis shoe workshop was where Dwayne actually spoke.
Yes.
And that's where Trent and I showed up.
Yes.
Was it that event that all this came about? Because I know how you work, and I watched you work that room. See, you guys, don't let Lisa tell you it was about me. It was about Lisa working that room and making things happen.
Well, you know what? I have to say I had a really good partner in working that room, and her name was Linda.
Yes.
Linda Jones. So, yes, we worked the room. I definitely, was able to kind of put TJ in a corner and say, this is what we'd like to do. We'd like to collaborate with you.
Right.
And then I had a chance to also meet Kevin Hall's wife, Debbie, who is amazing. She is truly a power behind a great man, but she is a great woman herself. And given that this is March, Women's History Month,
absolutely.
Got to give Debbie Hall a shout out because she's pretty amazing. But yes, it was that night, and it all came about from that. But then I remember when you introduced Trent to me, what you said.
What did I say?
You remember what he said? He said, let me introduce you to Lisa Sarno. And then, you know,
I remember what you said.
What did I say?
You said, I don't know what I need to do for you yet, but I'm gonna figure it out. Pretty much.
Oh yeah, I remember that part. Yeah,
something along those lines.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't know what I need to help you with, but it's something.
Well, the universe actually does deliver, doesn't it? So when this opportunity came around, I actually immediately, you were one of the first people that I did think about. And I immediately called Mike and said, I'm going to call him. And can you make sure that he's going to answer my call?
Yeah, she's like, she did say that. She's like, and tell everybody else, when I call and they see Lisa Sarno, to pick up.
I just wanted to make sure you didn't forget who I was, and that Mike was paving the way to make sure that you did answer my call. But thank you, because in the design world, everything is very fast paced. Right. So this was a very fast paced situation. But let me just tell you, the theme for the Upcycled 2 was grunge, right? Deconstructing and reconstructing grunge. Yeah. Oh my gosh. You know, I hope that you put some of the photos up pretty soon that I sent you. Their designs were just phenomenal.
It was.
Phenomenal. And I was sitting in the front row, thank you very much, during that show. And I watched these proud young designers of ours from the Antelope Valley walk down after the models walked down. And I could see the faces. And you know what was even more amazing was seeing the families of our young designers and hearing what their comments were. Yeah. And, you know, we had some proud family members there, too, who actually said, we didn't really know that it was this, right? Mm-hmm. And did you expect that?
No, I didn't. Honestly, it was a lot more than I expected. It was like, you know, big time people. It was like a lot of people that have their own thing going. So it was I was able to kind of see like the behind the scenes of how a fashion show really goes, because it's a lot of chaos in a small space.
Yeah, it is.
But they all work together. You know, you have your makeup, you have your models, you have your designers, and they all just kind of, you know,
it's like a dance, right?
It really is.
Yeah.
And I was about to say, when you aren't used to it, it looks like chaotic. Yeah. But when you're used to it and you do that for a living, like it's everything slows down and it's seamless. Like everybody just.
It was like a choreographed dance, right? Yeah. And so part of it, though, I do want to say is that, you know, in that room that night, there was over 700 individuals all there for LA Fashion Week. Yeah. And you had I'm sure you saw them up in the very front. You had local media and international media, fashion media that was there. Yeah. And so, I mean, you know, your runway show with your design is actually up on YouTube, and it's being highlighted all over social media right now. Your design was amazing. I mean, all four were amazing.
So, I want to take you back for a second, because I remember being in television. And I remember when I first started off in television, I started off as a corporate art director, meaning I did all the visual stuff for the screens that you saw on TV, right? And I remember, at the time I was working with Paramount, and I remember Paramount, I was working for a production company, but we was under Paramount. Yeah. I remember Paramount calling one time and to the production office asking for a lot of our artwork that we had did for the show. And they told me to send over certain things that met some criteria that they need. And I sent it over to them, right? Mind you, I sent them over this small thing that I did. And one day I was driving down, I forget the name,
Pico Boulevard.
Pico. Over there by Pico and Motor.
Yeah.
Where that studio, I forgot the name of the studio back then, what it was. And I was driving and I looked up. You know how on top of the studios where they have the big billboards? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw my design.
Wow!
Like they didn't change it or nothing. Like
how
it was
proud did you
my
feel?
Design.
You were proud.
No,
right?
I literally stopped my car in the middle of the street and I had someone take a picture of it. Because I was like, I'll probably never see this again. Like somebody take a picture. Yeah. And cars was blowing their horns. I was like, y'all. Like, y'all gonna have to wait for this.
Yeah.
Like, it was just an amazing feeling. But that feeling I felt kept me going and kept me wanting to like do more. Like, so for the feeling for you, like what did it feel like seeing your vision go from concept to something real on a runway?
For me, like on the inside, it felt like it was kind of like I accomplished something. You know, it was kind of like, hey, like I didn't know I had this in me in a way, and it was it felt like finally, you know, somebody actually get to see like what is in me,
Right.
You know, because I was able to bring that to the forefront. You know, like you said, it was a lot of international like people that was able to see like me create that in the living room. I create that in the living room, you know, literally. So it's like for that to go from there to there, it was like, man, like finally somebody gets to see like my work ethic, my, you know, what's going on in my thoughts, what's, you know, everything, like kind of bring that to life and recognize that. It was like, wow, it was like a breath of fresh air kind of, you know, so.
Well, I think part of it though, you know, and thank you for saying that. I think part of it is that all of us have had folks in our lives that have given us opportunities, right? And I remember I've had several, but one, Jan Landrum, believed in me and said I could do something, and I told her, you've got to be kidding me, right? But she believed, and I was able to accomplish it. And all she asked was to pay it forward, right? So, you know, all I ask of if you're young designers, is to pay it forward.
Right.
Because you never know what other doors may open as you're paying it forward. But I think part of it is that, you know, we have those moments in our lives where a whole new path may open up that we never thought was possible. Because somebody else gave us the opportunity, right?
Well, let me ask you, Miss Arno. You knew this was coming. Speaking of that, because this is just a great segue to ask you right now, because you just opened up a segue for me. What was that aha moment for you in your career, that the first thing you did? Because you've done a lot of stuff, and I know you like to be humble about it, but I know your resume. What was that moment for you where you was like, oh, wow, like I made it, or I'm like...
You know, I can say that I've been blessed that I've had several aha moments, but the very first one was a park and recreations director for the city of Los Angeles by the name of Jan Landrum. And she actually was the director at Alpine Recreation Center, which is in the heart of Chinatown. It's the smallest, but the busiest. It was the busiest rec center in the city of LA. And she actually started the Asian American Ballet Company. And I had been taking lessons in dancing ballet for years. And I was able to join that, if you will, company. And later, as we moved on, she said, you know, I know you can choreograph. I believe that you can do this, so I want you to choreograph an entire new production. Write it, choreograph it, direct it. And it was called The World of Holiday Magic. And I didn't believe that I could do it, but she believed in me, and so I had the opportunity to write the story and choreograph it and direct it, and, you know, basically with over 200, if you will, young dancers throughout the city of Los Angeles. And it was all about holiday magic. And so that was really an aha moment for me.
You had a cast of 200?
I did.
That's a lot.
Yes, I did.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yes, and you know what? Chaotic, but it's like a dance.
Yeah.
It all worked.
But one thing I was thinking about as you was talking, I kind of mentioned this before on the podcast, is like how important community is. Because like you said, like somebody paid it forward to you and they like saw something in you, so it brought it out of you, you know. And it's kind of like with y'all in that situation, like Mike, I introduced myself to Mike introduced me to you. You paid it forward with the sewing machine. She did give me a sewing machine herself. She brought it to
That's
me
just
one
crazy
day. I
for
didn't
me.
have a sewing machine, and she brought it to me and said, "Hey, I believe in you.
Because
feel
I
like you're gonna
do.
great things." And that was like a lot of they gave me a lot of motivation. It was like, okay, somebody really like pushing for me, you know. So just even that was like, okay, I didn't go in thinking, okay, I'm doing this for me. You know, I was like, okay, I'm doing this also for the people that actually wants to see me succeed. And that kind of that's what brought that side out of me to where it's like, okay, let me lock in.
I think part of it, don't you agree, Trent, is that, sometimes we don't even know what we're capable of until somebody else believes in us.
Oh, for sure.
Right? And I've been blessed to have, folks like that in my life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so, I mean, again, we all pay it forward.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
No, absolutely, and I've definitely been there because everything that I've done in my career, as far as like entertainment, even like this type of stuff, like I never went to school for any of this stuff. I was just like doing it all for fun and like a hobby, and someone saw me and was like, "Oh wow, you got talent." And actually, Dwayne actually told me that.
There you go. And it
Dwayne
comes full
told me
circle.
that. Right, Dwayne actually told me that when we was young. I remember I was designing something. Because way back in the day, me, Dwayne, and a couple of our childhood friends, we actually started a clothing company. And we had hired 4 different people to do our website. And this is when websites first came out, right? And we didn't like nothing anybody was doing. So I remember vaguely, me and my other boy, Derek, we went to, I think it was Best Buy. We bought a computer, and we bought the Photoshop program and Dreamweaver and all that, like all these programs. And not true story, by the next morning, and we stayed up around the clock to the next morning, I had built the website that everybody was happy with. And Dwayne looked at me, he was like, "Dude, you have a gift in design. You need to run with that."
And that was your aha moment.
Yeah.
So, I think part of it is we've all had that experience. And, I have had the wonderful opportunity of being able to find and find people, and who have actually found me as well, and have provided opportunities, right? Not only for myself, but for the folks that I work with in the community. Right. And, Action for Kids, a lot of our board members and our advisory board are people of like mind. Yeah. And we are trying to do what we can to provide positive opportunities, right? For the young folks and also the adults in the Antelope Valley. I mean, trying to bring new things, new possibilities. Yeah. And it's really all about, again, new possibilities that we didn't even think about. Right. And so thank you, Linda Jones, for making this happen for us, right? For all of us. So, what can I say? We will support. And, Trent, we had this conversation, but we're going to do something for the Antelope Valley too, right? So, Mike, I'm going to work with some of our young designers to basically have mentees of their own here in the next several months, right? Next several months to a year. And we're hoping to actually pass on the knowledge that they received to some of the young folks, because, part of it was when we offered this opportunity to some of the people out here and some of the adults and parents and even professors, they didn't think it could happen. Wow. And so now we have the information, we have the collateral, we have the materials that says, hey, we really can do this. And here they are. These are some of our young folks that really took the opportunity, ran with it, and made it happen. Yeah, right. And again, I can't tell you how wonderful it was to sit there in the front row watching, their designs come down that runway, and then watching them come down the runway to take their final walk.
Yeah, that was amazing.
It was amazing, wasn't it? I mean, I couldn't stop smiling the entire time I was there. And I think in some of the videos you can hear me going, woohoo! Yeah. It was, I can't tell you how just amazing it was to watch all of you guys. And the fact that you guys actually did it in 6 weeks?
Yeah, 6 weeks.
6 weeks. 6 weeks.
So I want to go back to Trent. What was the biggest challenge in the process? How did you push through it?
Meeting the deadline.
The deadline?
The deadline.
Fast deadlines.
Yeah,
Short time frame.
Short time frame. And like I said, I'm basically like starting from scratch. Mm-hmm. Like I've never sold before, none of those things. So
Would
I'm
never
like,
have known that.
I'm learning as I go, like watching.
No, we talked about that like in the beginning when he first accepted that he was going to do it. Like, cause I think he had his design in his head, but then he was like, they want me to sew. He was like, I don't know how to sew.
I was like, I don't know how to sew.
But you do now, right? You do now, right?
But but that's the point though. So like, how did you? I mean, I know you said the deadline, but I feel like that was a big part of the process, right? Mm-hmm. That you didn't know how to sew, but you had this deadline. Yeah. So how did you push through that?
I ain't gonna lie, cause like one thing he pushed was like utilizing your resources. Mm-hmm. So I did watch YouTube videos, watched a lot of YouTube videos.
Was
on
this
sewing.
TJ? Or was this Kevin that told you utilize your resources?
TJ.
Okay.
Like he pushed it. Like that made it to where like I didn't think too much.
Right.
When he said that, he was like, "Hey, utilize your resources. I'm not asking y'all to go out your way and do too much.
Right.
Like know your limits. Think about the time limit and just work within that space."
I like that though.
So when he said that, I was kind of like, "All right, cool. I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna do too much. I'm gonna try to do what I can in this small period of time."
Right.
So like I said, I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and my wife's aunt, she used to sew. So I met up with her one day, and she kind of showed me, like, but I already started sewing, but she kind of showed me a few more things. But she said, "You pretty much already got it. Just stay consistent with what you're doing right now." And I was like, "All right, cool." So that gave me a little bit more confidence. So I was just in there, just
And you know what? I like what you said about that, about utilize your resources and just pay attention to the time, right? Because a lot of people, when they don't know how to do things, they think they have to recreate the wheel.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't.
Yeah.
Like people have a lot of resources they just don't think about.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like YouTube is a great resource.
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
Go on YouTube, watch a video real quick. They're going to show you a quick way to do something.
YouTube University.
Yeah.
That's what I call it, YouTube University.
Hey, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I used to, I don't know if I ever told this story before, but I used to, when I first had when Dwayne told me to make a career out of designs, he even gave me my first company name. It was called MRI Designs. And so I had this graphic design company. And mind you, again, I didn't go to school for none of this. I didn't know how to do a bunch of stuff. But I had just got out the music industry, and I knew a lot of people, right? So people was calling me saying, "Hey, Mike, I got your number from blah, blah, blah." And they said you can do, designs and stuff like that. I was like, yeah. They was like, "Well, can you do like this type of design?" I was like, "Yeah. When do you need it?" And they was like, "In about 2-3 weeks." I was like, "Cool." Mind you, every time somebody called me, like in my first couple of years, I didn't know how to do nothing. I would just tell people, yeah, because I knew I had the internet. I said, okay, cool. They need it in 2 weeks. I'm going to learn how to do it in 1 week and then do the project in the second week. And I did it. Like, that's how I operated my first couple of years.
Honestly, that's how I did this situation. I literally watched and learned videos for 2 days,
Yeah.
2 or 3 days. Then after that, I was like, all right, let's get to it.
Yeah.
You know what's really great is that you remembered what TJ said,
Yeah.
what TJ Walker said, and the fact is that the opportunity to work with some really amazing designers, American designers, right, and have them tell you that, and then say to you, do what you can, do the best you can, and they were going to support you no matter what. That is something, that's pretty amazing, right? That's pretty incredible. And that shows the commitment of that group of individuals, right? The whole Black Design Collective. They're giving back to their communities, and they're giving opportunities. And a lot of them, this, Mike, a lot of the BDC members actually came from humble backgrounds. Right? They actually came from humble backgrounds, and they're paying it forward. They're paying back because people gave them opportunities and they were able to succeed. So now they're doing the same for others, right? Dwayne is, Dr. Dwayne's one of them, right? His story is pretty amazing too.
It's funny how like people do
Come full circle.
No, this is like every time I hear that, like Dr. Dwayne, right?
Yeah.
It's just crazy hearing that because I didn't know him as Dwayne.
It's a child.
You knew him from childhood in the neighborhood. I got it.
I'm not gonna say his nickname on
No, don't.
on that, but yeah, I just know him as, or we just called him D, like right, it's just Dwayne. Yeah. It's just D. But when you say Dr. Dwayne, it's like
Yeah, because the man has design universities all
I
over
know.
now at this point in time, right?
No, I
in
know.
Chicago, Detroit. So talk about coming from, if you will, a neighborhood, that we all know of here in Los Angeles, and rising to the pinnacle because somebody gave him the opportunity, right? Gave him the opportunity and saw magic in him.
And I'll even say to that, it lets you know how, some people feel like they have to wait for the perfect thing before you actually step out there. And it's like I said, with him doing that and even saying that, it lets you know, hey, work within your limits, give me that, and then we can kind of, move off of that. And it lets you know, okay, you could probably get an opportunity with the limited stuff that just by simply just doing, right. And that's why, because when I walked, I'm not gonna lie, I was talking to a lot of people. I'm like, dude, I don't even feel qualified to even be here after talking, because people been in there for years. They've been in the, like people. Some people that was in it went to school for it.
Right.
Some people been doing it for like 7 to 8 years, and I'm over here like I'm just getting started. Like, so I'm just literally like sitting there, and that's when I kind of got nervous. I'm not gonna lie, I got nervous. I was like, oh shoot, like. Okay, what did I get myself
But
into?
you stuck with it.
Yeah, so then I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm up for the challenge. I want to see how far I can go with this, see what I can do with this. So I'm just going to do it. So that's how that came about.
And you know what? That's what's amazing about you is that you did not, none of the four, none of you guys ran away from it. You ran towards it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the whole thing is you went towards it.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is that you now know that you're capable of sewing.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, and you had your own design brand, Holy Threads, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So really, I think Mike and I knew that he was going to be able to do this.
Yeah.
It's all about, I think we all know, it's all about believing in ourselves.
For sure.
Right? And sometimes we don't. Sometimes we hesitate.
Yeah.
I mean, even, I think all of us, no matter how mature we become, and I'm talking about age, no matter how age, you know, defines us, we basically sometimes, you know, we hesitate. And I think we have to keep reminding ourselves, you know, the only failure is when you don't try.
That's true.
Right? And that's something that everybody says, but it's absolutely true. And we learn from our mistakes. So whatever mistakes you made on that sewing machine or on that piece of design that you made, you know, you created, next time you're not going to do that.
Sure.
And it's even going to be better, even more amazing.
Yeah, and it also, just like you said, it taught me how to never sell myself so short. You know, just like, hey, it's an opportunity, walk into it, see what comes out of it. And that's kind of what I had to switch my mindset to. It's like, all right, let's just see what comes out of it. We don't know. So
In our paths, sometimes, you know, in our lifetimes, one path that we think we're walking down, sometimes we come to crossroads.
Oh, yeah.
And we have to decide which path we're going to go, right? But, you know, as long as we continue to get those opportunities, we should, you know, run towards it, not away from it.
All right. So, I mean, I have a question for Trent again. So how does fashion connect to your identity, your story, and to your voice? Because when I met Trent, right, like obviously I knew his story. And now that I work with him, I see his passion and how he gives back to the students, right? So how does that connect with it?
I would say that, go off my design that I created, it's a little bit, it's correlated, but a little loud with the flannel, you know, because it's different colors, colorful, and it's a little loud, but it's also not too much. And that is me. You know, I'm very reserved, I'm very quiet, but when I get comfortable, like I told you before, I can be a little bit more outgoing, loud, fun, whatever, and that's literally what that outfit described. Like I'm here, then I can be there.
Right.
When I get comfortable. And I think that's what it is for me. That's what it was for me. It's like when I look at that outfit, and the pants especially, right? The pants especially, I was like, yeah, this describes me. It's not doing too much. It's just right, but it has so many different things to it that it's like, oh, I never knew that was inside of you, or, you know, that was a part of you. You know, like you look at the thighs, it's like, oh, okay, you got different color flannel right here. There's different things that describe you and show you. You got the inside seam right here.
Right.
It got flare flannels right there. It's like, oh my gosh, that's another part of you that I never knew about. You look at you know, it's like just looking at all of it is like, okay, that's me.
So what I'm hearing, though, is that in the design that you created, you really found yourself. Yeah. You found different sides of yourself, right? And it went into your design. Well, can I tell you, it really showed, and it was you, right? And when I saw his design walking down, I'm like, man, that really is Trent.
Yeah,
yeah, that really is Trent. And it's, you know, what I loved about all of the designs, the four, you know, all of them, Nestor, Joseph, and Queen, and Trent's, it was things that we would wear. It's things, and I was sitting next to, you know, a couple of the folks that were there for the show that clearly they were there from, you know, they were designers themselves, and I heard them say, I would wear that.
I was telling Trent that story today.
Yeah, he
'Cause
Yeah, I would wear
you
that.
said that last night at our board meeting.
I
and
did.
So
I
told him
did.
that.
And so, I can't tell you how that made me feel. And Linda Jones was sitting next to me, and we both looked at each other and went, oh, yeah.
Yeah, and even me hearing that was kind of like, wow, because I was nervous. Like, I was nervous going in. I was like, dang, I wonder how everybody else stuff going to look, or what is mine going to look compared to everybody else. So when I saw it, I was like, wow, like, these people are creative. They, they put it together well. I think everybody did amazing. Like, everybody. And one thing I will say, like, the third meeting that we had for the Upcycle, when everybody showed what they were working on, everybody, as you saw, everybody had their own thing. Like, everybody went a certain way, like and I was like, wow, like, this is kind of crazy because, normally sometimes you may be in a situation where there's a lot of similarity. Like, somebody might see your design as like, okay, I got this, or I might take something from this. Nobody did that. Everybody had their own thing.
They had their own vision.
They had their own vision, their own thoughts, everything. I was like, wow, this is crazy. So I knew it was going to be good. So it was like, all right, stepping into it, I was just like, okay, is this good enough?
But you know what? You were with people, like you said, that had gone to design school. And yet, the four of you from here, from the Antelope Valley, had not been to design school. And yet you guys, you basically complemented, and in some ways, they a cut above what some of them came up with. All of them were wonderful. Let me just say that every piece that came down was wonderful. But maybe I'm a little biased, but but the reality is, you all held your own and then some.
Yeah.
Right, and by him being new to this industry, I mean, it's clear that he has the skill and he has like
talent.
a natural talent, right? Natural talent. But so, where did your passion for fashion come from? Like,
honestly, my passion for fashion came from not being able to get it when I was growing up like that. Because, like, I mean, not saying that my parents couldn't do, like, they were able to give me some things, but as I got older, like I said, I was more so focused on sports and basketball. Right. But I did want this, but at the same time, when it's playing sports and you're going to college or whatever, you kind of got to choose. It's like, I can work all year round, save up money, or I can probably work during the summertime, and then when school hits, basketball. So you limit it. So it's like, okay, I gotta be cautious about what I do with my money.
Right.
I gotta eat. I gotta, so it's like, I can't really get the stuff that I want. So that's how that kind of came about. It's like, okay, now I'm in the opportunity where it's like, okay, I can create my own. I can do this, I can do that with it, and add my own style to it, what I see and what I like. And it's like, yeah, I'm just picturing 10, 12-year-old Trent. It's like, okay, I like this. I want to wear this, and I can actually make this. Cool. I don't have to worry about saving up money or trying to wait till a release or anything like that. It's kind of like, yeah, I can create it myself now.
Well, Helly Threads, I think, is going to have some new designs coming up, huh?
Yes, it is.
Right. There you go.
So let me ask you, how do you see this experience impacting the students that you mentor right now?
I see it giving them an insight of something different than what they already know, because most of the time, especially in that community, I'm gonna be honest, it's like the main focus is, okay, my ticket out is sports.
Right.
Same thing I thought. If I'm not playing football, I'm playing basketball. If I'm not playing basketball, I'm playing soccer. If I'm not doing that, I'm boxing. And it's like, other than that, maybe rapping or something in entertainment. Right. Not too many people are like, hey, let me actually create the clothes that I like to wear, that I beg my mom to spend hundreds of dollars on. Right. Like, nobody thinks like that. It's like, everybody's like, okay, I'm going to get it to look good, but I want to pursue the sports and I want to look good while I'm doing it, instead of being like, hey, why not create that on your own? So it kind of opens that avenue for them to be like, oh, Coach Trent is doing this. Never knew that, because I get compliments on certain things that I do wear, and I'm like, yeah, you can actually make this yourself if you wanted to. Right. So yeah, like, I think that kind of give them a different perspective, because also they're not used to seeing, people from their area go to these type of places. When you think of stuff like that, they're not thinking, oh, well, he's from here, or even how you was, in entertainment. They're not thinking Inglewood, right? You was from Inglewood. They're not thinking that, you
Right.
know. They're like, oh, they probably had opportunities and friends of other cities or whatever in other areas. So yeah, of course, they probably went to school for some years and they was able to get in it. They're not thinking, oh, like, hey, somebody from their neighborhood can just pop up out of nowhere and start creating whatever they wanted, and it can go here. And on top of that, social media is a thing now. So it's like you can utilize social media from your home and actually get that brand something in places that you never thought it would go.
Right.
And you know, I think also for those that may not have the financials, you know, their parents not have repurposing,
Yeah.
right? Taking clothes and then deconstructing and then reconstructing them into something completely brand new.
Right.
You know, it wouldn't cost them like $100 to $200,
Yeah.
right? And I think that was part of what BDC was trying to show us, is that, you know, it doesn't need to be brand new. We can actually be environmentally, they were trying to push that environmental. It can be environmentally friendly and financially friendly, right? And I think part of it is what we saw come down that runway. You would never know that, you know, all those outfits were repurposed.
Yeah. We had bags of clothes.
We
walking
did.
out. We had bags of clothes walking out the
remember that.
Upcycled. Yeah. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like you said, like one thing, like those jeans you have on could be worn 5 different ways, you know, just by upcycling it.
Right.
You know, and it's crazy to think that, but most people don't know that that happens. And some of the stuff that you buy is upcycled, you know?
So is that, and correct me if I'm wrong because I don't know, upcycle, is that a fashion term for?
It's you know, my understanding was it was just a term that came up that TJ and Kevin came up with,
Okay.
but it may be
I think it is.
yeah, it may be. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. It may be, right? I mean, I just know that's what they call their workshops.
Okay.
And so, again, this is the second one they've had. My understanding is that they're going to have a third one. And just so that you guys know, and I think you heard this, the minute they put the upcycle applications up on their website, on the Black Design website, oh my gosh, it basically, you know, within 2 days, it was like full.
Yeah.
And they had to shut it down.
Yeah.
And so,
believe
and
that.
how many were in the class? I think a very limited few.
Yeah, it was, I can't remember the number, but it wasn't that. It wasn't
It was
as many.
like 20,
Yeah.
like 20. Yeah. So,
No,
you know.
I believe that because even like back in the day when Dwayne used to do shoe design contests, they had put it up and like within hours it was full.
Yeah.
Because that's what
It actually
people
crashed
see.
the system.
People see opportunities in that. They
Right.
say, "Oh man, if I can design this shoe or I can design whatever in a contest, somebody can see it. You never know."
Yeah.
And that's actually what they was looking for. So they do that for a reason.
And I think that part of it is that, you know, thank you, Trent, for never missing one of the workshops.
Oh, thank you.
And, you know, because I know you had to travel down the hill to LA to make that happen, to the fashion district. But, you know, really looking forward to what we can do here in the Antelope Valley. And I think having your design and the designs of the other three, you know, walking on LA Fashion Week, you know, that was pretty amazing.
It was.
You guys were all from the Antelope Valley. Who would have thought, you know, who would have thought that our Antelope Valley young designers would be there that night, right? So you're a testament to those up here that may want that possibility and that opportunity and may not think that they're capable, but you're a testament to the fact that they are and that they can, right? So inspiration.
It is because also like how you asked me about like what is this to like the other kids and everything, right? Like my sister-in-law, she's 16 that modeled my outfit.
She did.
Now she's interested in becoming a model because of
Nice.
that. You know, like we sparked the interest just
Yeah.
for her doing that. And it was like, yeah, like I want to present those opportunities to other people, like you said, like because like walking in there is like so many people that had so much going on. It's like you never know. Like this door leads you to this door. It's
Right.
like I met people with their own podcasts and their own businesses and other things like that. It puts me in the room of like things you only see on social media. You know, you see people talking about these places, but actually being there and being able to, hey, I'm gonna grab hold of this and grab hold of that information and grab hold. It's like, wow, like, you know, so I do encourage like young kids that are interested in stuff like this to, if they get the opportunity, grab onto it, because it opens the door for so many other things.
No, right. And it kind of goes back, like Steve Harvey did a video about this, about exposure, right? And this is some of the things that I want to do about, and this is why I got into mentorship, because once you expose someone, especially like a kid, to something, it's like exposing them to their favorite ice cream or the cookie, right? Yeah. They got to have it. So like for me, like before growing up in Inglewood, and before I even went to Hollywood, I remember one of my good friends, he's a rapper. That's how I got into music. He took me to Hollywood. I never passed Wilshire, right? Once he took me past Wilshire and went into Hollywood, like I was exposed to the studio lights and the Hollywood lights. And I was like, ooh, this is what I want to do, right? Yeah. So I got into entertainment, right?
Understand.
But so once you expose to something, then it changes everything.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that's why I'm going to bring it back to Action for Kids. Because Action for Kids, that's what we're all about. Right. And again, our board members, as you know, we do the education, we give the information on prevention, to both parents and the youth. But we are doing something a little bit different. Mm-hmm. We are actually, like you said, exposing, and let me rephrase. Okay. We are basically providing opportunities to young folks, right, that they never thought they would have.
Right.
And I think that's the exposure, the positive exposure that we want to provide to them. And, I think that right now, everybody is doing the best they can with what we have. But I'd like to see more of this, of what we're talking about, up here in our own community.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
So before we go, I do have one more question for Trent. What would you say to a student or a mentor who has talent but doesn't believe they can take it and to take it in the direction like how you just took yours and get that opportunity?
Well, like I said, I would tell them the same thing I told myself, not to sell myself short, and don't take anything for granted, because like some people could be in these rooms and opportunities like that and just kind of be like, oh, it's not really a big deal. I'm probably not going to take it as serious, and then it become a thing like it was LA Fashion Week. Like that day was kind of like, oh my gosh, like the lights, the cameras, even walking down, I was like, wow, this is crazy, but you never know what it's going to be. So I was like, don't walk away before everything's complete. It's like, it takes time, it's process, it's trial and error. It's all of those things, especially when you're trying to branch off into your own specific thing. It's going to be like that. Right. So I was like, if that's what you want to do, you have to create the headspace to be able to endure all of those things. So I would just tell them, like, hey, just keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward. Eventually somebody's going to catch on and see it, and they're going to believe in you just like you guys believed in me, and you'll see. Like, it's going to be a great result.
Even like for you when you was a kid, right? You always thought it was going to be sports for you. Yeah. But now it's not. It's this fashion.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. And the crazy thing is like, a lot of athletes don't talk about the hard time of going through a pivot. It's like, hey, like pivoting from my whole life, I wanted to do this one thing to stepping into something else. Right. And that kind of sometimes keep people from being able to know what they really want to do for a long time, and they don't probably discover that till like super late. Well, I wouldn't consider it late, but later in their later years. And it's like, I would always just say to young athletes, keep a plan B, like keep an open mind. Don't just put all your eggs in one basket. Like, I would say that, because things happen. People get hurt. People, coaches leave and get fired. Anything could happen. And it's like, now that you got this, it could be music, it could be fashion, it could be any acting, it could be anything. Right. You have that pivot. So now you're not stuck for maybe 5 or 6 years trying to figure it out. And and then the opportunity might come or may not. You never know. So I would tell people, like, just always stick with a plan B. Don't just put all your eggs in one basket, especially sports.
So. I agree with that. And you know what? I think in the last episode I was talking to Haley about purpose and why. And like, I truly believe like you was living in your purpose, doing all your trial and errors, but now you found your why. Because look at you, you're an amazing mentor. You found a new passion of yours that you obviously have natural talent in. And like I believe you got your why now.
Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, because like I said, I enjoy working with those kids. Like you know, like I like the fact that they cater. You know, they come to me. They're comfortable with me. They like to talk to me. I feel like a big brother. Sometimes an uncle. You know, and I have nieces.
Trent got like 30 kids. We call him. He got sons over there. You do. He got more sons. Where's your wife at?
Extended family.
Yeah, they are.
No, they are
Extended
though. They
family.
literally
Yeah.
are.
Like you enjoy the moments. Like the other day when I had the basketball games going on, the girls was cheering over here, the boys was playing. It was it was amazing.
But you know what? You are there for a purpose. They were supposed to meet you.
Yeah.
They're supposed to have your influence, if you will, and your mentorship in their lives at this moment, right? Just like you were there that evening for that reception when Dr. Dwayne had his talk, and you were there for a reason. So I really do believe there is no coincidences.
Right.
You know, we all meet each other for a reason, and you're there for those 30 young people. You're there for their lives, for their moment in this time. You're there for them because they need you there.
For sure. Because I would think like it shows like what Mike and Dwayne showed me. Like you don't have to become you don't have to be a product of your environment.
No.
You know, like you can be different.
We have
And it's
choices.
like, hey, we all like you came from a certain place. I came from a certain place, and look what we're trying to do.
Right.
And look what we're doing. And even those kids, all of those kids growing up in the same environment, and it's like you see me. I'm not being that way. I'm going this way. Like it's okay for you to go that way. I get it. Your peers might pressure you into other things, but it is okay. It's not. It's not gonna kill you. It's not gonna hurt you. Like
Yeah, and I think, Mike, you and I have talked about this. We have choices.
Yeah.
for sure.
You know, as we grow, we have choices. So whatever environment we may have come from, we can change our environment.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you're doing. You're helping these kids do. What both of you are doing is helping these kids do that.
Oh yeah, and we talk to the kids every day about choices, and like what I even tell them is like, okay, like when they doing something, I'm like, okay, cool, just know this is your choice. You're making this choice,
Right.
and I'm okay with that. I even tell them I'm okay with this choice that you're making because we have to learn, right? And they're so young. I actually told them in one meeting, like, I expect them to fail right now because they have to learn. They have to go through all the stuff that we went through to understand and learn. Even though it's frustrating, right? Seeing them make the mistakes because we already know the outcome. But it's like I told her, I said, I expect you to fail. I don't want you to fail, but I expect it because you have to learn.
You know what? I think part of it is, I'll just say this. I expect myself to learn from my failures. And if I don't learn, I really believe that the lessons keep coming back until we find out, what it is we're supposed to know.
Yeah.
And we keep making those same mistakes until we make different choices. So, failure is part of growing.
No, it is.
Yeah.
Because
So
it's a forever learning process. Like we learning things every single day.
No
Doesn't
kidding,
matter
I'm still
how
learning.
old you
Yeah, we do,
are,
yeah.
It doesn't matter, and that's one thing like kids don't grasp yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is going to continue. The longer you live, the more you have to endure and learn.
Yeah.
Like it
absolutely.
doesn't stop when you turn 12, 15, 20, 21. It doesn't
60.
stop there. Yeah, even that. So,
260. You throwing jabs at me again?
No. But I want to thank you for just persevering and doing something and finding, if you will, a new passion. It's just one in your toolbox. You have something else. You have another tool in your toolbox moving forward.
True.
And it's this, right? And you learned a skill that, yes, it was a crash course, but you learned a new skill that will help you create things and be able to design things. So thank you for answering the call. Thank you, Mike, for making sure he answered my call. Thank you for answering the call.
I gotta ask you this question: while you was there that night during the fashion night, did you even get a chance to like just take it in and like breathe and like?
No,
Or what? You didn't.
I didn't.
You
Like,
know
I
what?
ain't gonna lie.
Come
No, I
on.
know it's
That's
chaotic,
a
but
fast,
It
yeah.
was a lot, but I was also more so. I wasn't even thinking about me. I was thinking about my sister-in-law. Like I wanted to make sure she enjoyed it. I wanted to make sure she got everything that she needed. Even me and my wife was by her trying to make sure she got into everything that she needed.
And they were practicing that afternoon,
Yeah.
right? And here's the thing, his sister-in-law was basically amongst professional models, and she did an amazing job.
Amazing.
Right? She did an amazing job. I mean, she walked down that runway. I'm like, oh, you can't tell that this is her first time.
And that's
you
the
know?
thing. She's a more reserved person like me. Very quiet, don't really. But when she walked down that aisle, I was like, bro, that was a different person.
You should. Your wife. I mean, both times when you walked down that, and when she saw your design walking, you know, she was standing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was standing up. You saw her, right? You were standing up, and I mean, you know, your sister-in-law did an amazing job. And again, I can't even imagine how she must have felt the pressure in walking with professional models, right? Yeah. And I'm not sure if she was the only one that was, you know, brand new to that, first time.
It was one more. I think it was just her and one other person. Everybody else.
The models, you know, those are professional models that basically the designers hire. So to be amongst that crowd and do as well as she did, congratulations to her, man.
I was backstage just letting her know, like, man, don't think too much on it, man. Just do what you do. Like, it's okay. Just handle your business.
And did she have a good time?
She did. She enjoyed everything.
Good.
She enjoyed the whole scenery. She enjoyed all of it. Getting her hair done, makeup.
The makeup artists that were back there.
Yeah, she networked with some people too. I told her, like, make sure you network with some of these models. Like, talk to them if this is what you're interested in. Like, it may lead to something. So she did the same thing. So I was proud of her.
All about opportunities.
All about opportunity.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Lisa.
Also, I want to thank both of you guys because if it hadn't been for you guys, I wouldn't have been able to have that opportunity. So I want to say thank you for that.
This is all Lisa. I'm just being completely honest.
Thank you. Yes, I was going to say that. Thank you.
introduced me to her, Mike.
Like I said, there's a reason why we all meet each other. I don't believe in coincidences. So, you know, there's a reason why Mike and I met a few years back.
I can tell you how all this connects back to Lisa, but, you know, she's so humble. She don't like me telling these stories.
Thank you. I'll just say thank you. I'll just say thank you right now.
I have so much fun with Lisa. No, thank you. Thank you for always being here.
I appreciate you doing this.
I feel like we need her on more, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I feel like she has a lot.
Ain't she really good at this?
I only know crumbs.
Listen,
so
if you notice, I'm just sitting here chilling today. You just taking over the whole show.
Oh, yeah.
I be saying this to Lisa show when she comes on.
Yeah.
You know what? I appreciate the compliments, and I will just sit here and acknowledge and accept for today.
Lisa is amazing.
For today. Thank you. I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful that you both, I've been able to, you know, partner with you both. I'm very grateful for everything that has happened. But again, somebody did it for me. And so, you know, we just all pay it forward.
For sure.
Right?
All right. So I'm gonna give y'all my mic drop for the before we can end this out. Opportunities just don't change lives. They reveal what was really inside. When one of us steps onto the runway, we all move forward. This is what purpose looks like when vision meets action, and we bring the whole community with us. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Lisa Sarno. Thank you, Trent. Appreciate you both. And this is the One Life Podcast, and we out of here, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.